So for the part B of the exercise, we have that we need to do a rotation of 45 degrees clockwise. So for this matrix, we need to use this matrix. It's A matrix equals to cosine of 45 degrees sine of 45 degrees minus sine of 45 degrees and cosine of 45 degrees. This will allow us to multiply the first matrix that we did, the Ext4 image matrix. So with this we can do an equation. X equals to cosine x cosine 45 degrees plus y sine of 45 degrees and y equals to x sine minus x sine 45 degrees plus cos y cosine of 45 degrees. Now in that we need to use the previous points that we used. So for the first point of this new matrix, we know that the first point of our image is -2 and 3. So the first point must be x equal to -2 cosine of 45 plus 3 sine of 45, and y must be minus is a positive, so it will be 2 sine of 45 and plus 3 of cosine of 45. So this will be -2 cosine of 45 plus 3 sine of 45 equals to 0.70. The second one, it's 2 sine of 45 plus 3 cosine of 45. It's 1.46. For the second point, this will be x equals to -3.5 cosine of 45 degrees plus 0.2 sine of 45. For y, it's equal to 3.5 sine of 45 plus 2 cosine of 45. This will be equal to minus 2.33. And this one 2.61 for the third point. This will be x minus 1.5 cosine of 45 plus 0.2 sin of 45. For y, it's 1.5 sin of 45 plus 0.2 cosine of 45. We need to solve this first. It's minus 1.5 cosine of 45 plus 0.2 sin of 45. This will be equal to minus 1.05. And this one is 1.5 sin of 45, 0.2 cosine of 45. This will be equal to 1.06. For the fourth point, it's x equal to minus 1.5 cosine of 45 minus 0.2 sin of 45. For y, it's a positive 1.5 sin of 45 minus 0.2 cosine of 45. This equals to minus 1.06, and this will be in the opposite because it's just only change the instead of being positive, it's negative. So it could be 1.05. It's x equals to minus 3.5 cosine of 45 minus will be sin of 45. For the y, it's 3.5 sin of 45 minus 0.2 cosine of 45. The first one, it's equal to minus 2.48. Second one, it's equal to 2.46. For the sixth point, it's minus 2 cosine of 45 minus 3 sin of 45. 2 sin 45 minus 3 cosine of 45. this equals to minus 1.46, and the second one 1.36. For the 7 point, because in the 7 point the y is 0, I'm going to omit that. So we are just going to work with 0.2. This equals to minus 0.14, and the other one equals to 0.14, positive, and the other is negative. For the first one, it's equal to minus 1.02, and the second one is 1.09. For the 9th point, it's x equals to 1.5 sin 45 plus 3 sin of 45 degrees. First one is 1.02. As we this the opposite. So the only thing that it changed is instead of being negative, it's positive. So we can use the same number but in a negative form. So for the 10 point, in this case, the x of this point is 0, so we are going to omit that 0. We are going to work just with the y. This equals to 0.35, and this one is the same. For the 11 point, This is x equals to minus 1.5 cosine of 45 degrees minus 3 sine of 45 degrees. This equals to minus 1.09 and (1.02) for the 12th point. It's equal to 1.09 and minus 1.02 for the 13th point. In this case, the x of this point is equal to 0, so we're going to meet that. We're going to work just with the y part. So this is the same as the 10th point. So the only thing that changed is instead of being a positive number, it will be a negative one. Minus 0 minus 0 is the same. 14th point. In this case, our y is a 0, so we are going to work just with the x part. It's (0.2 cosine of 45), and y it's minus 0.2 sine of 45. It's equal to 0.14 and minus 0.14. The x is equal to 1.36 and the y part equal to minus 1.46. The 16 point. In this case, we don't have a y part of this point. It's 0. So we're going just to use the x part. Equals to 2.47, and this will be the opposite. Instead of being, will be minus 2.47. 17th point. It's x equals to 2 cosine 45 plus, well, instead of plus, this is a negative y, so we're going to use minus 3 sine of 45 degrees. Minus 2 cosine 45 minus 3. Oh, this will be sine cosine of 45. To cosine of 45 minus 3 sine of 45 equals to 1.46 minus 2 sine of 45 minus 3 cosine of 45. This is equal to 1.36 minus 1.36. 18 point. This point, it doesn't have a y part, it's equal to 0, so we're going just to use the x part. That is 1 cosine of 45 minus 1 sine of 45. .70 and minus 0.70. 19 part. This is equal to 1.37, and this will be just the opposite. We are going to check it. This minus 1.37, you will see it. That's right. The 20th point doesn't have y part. Is equal to 0.12 and minus 2.12. 21 point, and the last one. is equal to 1.44. And this is equal to minus 1.37. So we have all the points of the matrix of the letter B of part 2. That is a rotation of 45 clockwise. So this matrix will be the first point will be 0.0. And this will be it. This is our matrix of a rotation of 45 degrees clockwise.